In light of recent events like what occurred in Parkland, Florida, I thought it'd be important for us to have a conversation about what kind of things we could do right now to prevent these incidences from occurring, or at least reduce the likelihood and reduce the type of damage that we are seeing in these events. So these are 5 things that I believe we could do right now as a society and to stop these things from happening. Now, for the record, I'm not going to be monetizing this video. I'm not doing this for money or anything. I don't want anyone to get the idea that I'm exploiting the situation. I'm genuinely trying to find solutions that we could all agree on and implement to affect this change. You know, these kinds of situations affect everyone on all ends of the political spectrum, and I don't think this should be a partisan issue. I believe this is something that affects everyone, and we should find reasonable solutions that actually affect change and are not necessarily infringing on other people's rights to defend themselves. So here are my 5 things that we could do right now. Number 1 is implement metal detectors and armed security at entrances of schools. Now, I'm by no means suggesting that we should turn our schools into military bases, but I think something as simple as having 2 armed guards and metal detectors at the entrances of schools can detect these incidences immediately and also respond to them immediately. And I don't think this will cost too much money. We already have security guards in our schools. I think it would just have to be a little bit of a paradigm shift in the way we utilize our security guards and how we use them more effectively. Number 2, I believe that we should allow teachers and staff of schools to carry concealed weapons if they are licensed and are willing to go through the proper training. Now, I'm by no means saying that teachers have to carry a firearm. I don't think it's their responsibility. I don't think they absolutely need to. But I believe that if they want to and they're courageous enough to defend themselves and others in these types of situations, they could help end them sooner. And I do not understand why we would trust these persons with our child's minds, but not with their lives and security. We already trust everyday citizens to carry this responsibility, and I don't see why we can't trust these teachers to carry the same responsibility. Now, number 3, I believe that we should get rid of gun-free zones. Unfortunately, over 98% of mass shootings occur in gun-free zones, and simply having a sign that says "Do not enter with a firearm" does not deter a mass murderer from entering with his firearm. I do not understand the logic behind these areas. I believe they just create a false sense of security for people that I guess feel like this sign is going to protect them. But in no way does this actually do anything, and I believe that it is not an effective tool to prevent these incidences from occurring. All it does is disarm law-abiding citizens from having the ability to protect themselves. I recently saw something on in the media about ways to survive these events, and they were basically saying you could run, you could barricade yourself, or you could fight back. And their suggestion of fight back was run towards the attacker and try to literally pull the gun out of his hands. And that does not seem like a realistic thing for someone to do. And I believe if they had a firearm, they would definitely stand a much better chance of fighting back. So anyways, number 4, I believe that we should implement acoustic technology that allows local police to identify where shots are coming from immediately. Now, this technology does exist and is implemented in certain cities and used by the military. And basically, this acoustic technology could be put at certain intersections or through all intersections within a city, especially in schools. And if a bullet is ever to go off, local police are notified immediately. And I believe they could also tell the direction of which the bullets are coming from and going towards. So that's something that could alert police immediately and get them on the scene quicker. Number 5, I believe that for any large events, similar to like what occurred in Las Vegas, we should have snipers on rooftops that could respond immediately should a threat occur. Now, I don't think this adds a great cost. We already have police and security at these events, and like I said earlier, I believe we should just use them more effectively. I believe if we had counter snipers like at a scene in Las Vegas, we could have ended this event much sooner. Also, with that acoustic technology, we could have known where it was coming from. So And another thing is that we use these snipers at events like the Super Bowl for the NFL and other big areas. And all I'm advocating for is that they're used consistently instead of using them in certain cities and not in other cities. I believe we should just use them across the board, and we could prevent these tragedies from occurring. Some rebuttals that I've heard to my proposals is that it creates something like a police state, but I don't think that's the case at all. We basically already have armed security at banks, we have armed security at jewelry stores, and I don't think it's too much to ask to have security at schools. We already have security guards, and we just need to learn to implement them more effectively. But anyways, that's all I got for now. Please be respectful in the comments of everyone's opinions. I will be moderating the comments. And thanks for watching. I'm not going to end this conversation on, like and share and subscribe and all that stuff. I just would really ask you guys to have that conversation with someone else. And even if they are across the political spectrum, understand that there are solutions that we can implement now, and that everyone across the political spectrum does care about this situation. It's everyone's kids that are in public school, and we don't want these things to reoccur. Yeah, that's all I got for now. WRG out.